Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I thought we could talk a little bit about the Across the Spider-Verse villain. Well, as many of you know, Sony Pictures is in the process of developing two sequels to Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie focused on Miles Morales that dropped a couple of years ago. Now, these are going to be titled Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. And although we've gotten a teaser trailer, we really have no idea what this movie is going to focus on. Well, until now. Now, Across the Spider-Verse actually received the spotlight at the Annecy Festival earlier today and gave us some new casting announcements to share, which does help us have an idea of what's coming in the sequel. Now, we did find out several of these castings, with Shea Wigman playing Captain George Stacy, Gwen's father. Johnathan Ohn, who voiced the Green Goblin in the first movie, will return this time as the Vulture. And Rachel Dratch will play Miles Morales' high school counselor. Now, this was just part of the excitement associated with the announcement, because we got some art that focused on one of the movie's big baddies, and this one is probably perfect for this animated series. Check it out. That's right, it looks like they are bringing the Spot to life. Now, we did find out that Jason Schwartzman, probably most famous for his role in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, is going to bring him to life. And the villain, who's usually somewhat of a joke in the comics, I believe was going to be one serious threat in this first part of the sequel. Now, the art itself does look pretty cool, but like I was saying, the Spot's powers really lend themselves to animation, and the multiverse aspect of this movie and the Spot's powers combined with that could make for something pretty neat. Now, the character in the comics has been around since January of 1985, when he made his first appearance in Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man number 98. Now, his real name in the comics is Dr. Johnathan Ohn, but he has a couple of nicknames like Johnny Ohn and Silent Bob. Interestingly enough, in the comics, he went to MIT, but his roommate at MIT was the one and only Quentin Beck, giving us an interesting tie to Mysterio. Now, in the comics, he was exposed to the spotted dimension, and his skin was bleached white with dot that warped in space. These spots can transport other things or even people to another area by passing through the spotted dimension and then coming out another spot. Additionally, he can teleport himself, which is always an awesome power for a villain, and even extend parts of his own body over various distances that are defined by the spots. The spots are pretty wacky. He can move them all over his body and even take them off and leave them suspended in midair. All of this should make for an awesome visual villain for this animated movie. Now, the film itself is set to hit theaters next June 2nd, 2023, so just under 1 year away. We have had that initial teaser trailer, but I'm expecting quite a bit more from Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 over the next couple of months, but hopefully by the end of the year we'll get a full-fledged look at the film and know exactly what's going on. Obviously, as we get more news about Across the Spider-Verse, we're going to bring it to you right away. But until we know more, I gotta know what you guys think. How do you feel about these voice casts for various characters? How do you feel about these voice casts for the upcoming sequel for George Stacy, the Vulture, and Miles Morales' high school counselor? And, more importantly, what do you think of the movie's primary villain being the weird, wild, and fun Spot from Marvel Comics? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.